honestly thought that parenting was going to be just something that happens along the way.
I think when a mother is leaving for work and a toddler comes to her, the amount of guilt she feels is much more than what a father will feel. I think this is the last generation with which we have a chance.
पेरेंटिंग को बच्चे तो अपने आप बड़े हो जाते हैं.
By the way, that is true. आप कुछ करो ना करो, बच्चे तो
बड़े तो होंगे ही होंगे. Got 40 things in my head like laundry, meal planning, week's menu.
Male children want to play with cars and girls don't want to play so much with cars. Okay?
Is that because of conditioning and us doing the blue and pink stuff? Make Instagram safe for your child. Why should my child be on Instagram?
At the age of 7, when by the fall of teeth, a child knows they are physically separate from the parent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All parenting is essentially interference in a child's life. As adults, we feel out of control. So a child feeling out of control, where the entire brain is not developed, is very, 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 very normal. I imagine a world where when you form a pregnancy group, there are 10, 20 parents. One of them takes over and says, I'm going to raise all these children till the age of 8. That'll be so beautiful. And you provide all the support required. And that parent charges money, charges 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs a year, whatever it takes. And you know that these children are being raised together by somebody whose child is also within this. They say empathy can't be taught, it can only be received. My daughter brought Percy Jackson home. I'm going to read something, I'm going to read it. Okay, so I open the first page and it's about bus of teenagers from school where this guy is sitting next to a girl holding hands and the girl is thinking something, etc., etc., etc. And then you can't read this. She's like, I want to read it. Okay, this is a book labeled for 9+-year-old. I believe this should be a teenage book. When you are a teenager, you pick this book and read it, that is okay. You can't read it right now. End of story. The content out there on screens and in books is shit. 99% is shit.
As a parent, I think I've had lots of questions, and I think for me, it's a great opportunity to be in conversation with Harpreet in an era where we're all struggling with parenting because A, we have multiple things going on. B, children have so many new things in their lives that didn't exist, say, when we were children. I'm really glad that I have this opportunity to talk to you, Harpreet, and thanks to Instagram and social media that we are connected. And one human being, Bhavesh, who we are very grateful to. And I'm really looking forward to bouncing some ideas off Harpreet, picking his brains, and frankly, having a freewheeling chat about how to go about this new age animal called parenting.
Gul Panag, it's so good to have you here. And I want to tell everybody the conversation we had when we just met. And she said to me, oh, I've known you for a long time. I know you before you know me. I've been seeing your Instagram reels for the last 2 years. And I told her that was not true. I have known of her since the 2000s, when I was, barely out of college. Thank you for being here. I am looking forward to chat with you. And you are a successful woman, right? And when you are taking out time from that to sit back and reflect and have this chat, I think this would mean a lot for a lot of parents to be able to do that. As much busy as we have to be, can be, we are, taking out this time to be able to sit back and reflect is so critical in this age and time. But thank you for doing that.
No,
I'm glad we're going to be doing this.
I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I have this opportunity because if there's one thing that I've learned in the last few years, it's that if somebody is better at you at doing something, or if somebody is better than you at handling a given situation, you've got to reach out and figure out how. So
that's the easiest way to learn.
I mean, absolutely. Why would you lose an opportunity to learn from somebody who's already invented the wheel? Why would I want to go invent the wheel myself?
100%.
A. And B, I think I followed you on Instagram and a lot of your insights have been really thought-provoking and so simplistic that I just thought that why don't I think of it? In fact, a lot of what you say is so much common sense. And I hope I go away with some more common sense.
Well, looking forward to chatting. Let's do it.
Thank you. Look forward. I honestly thought that parenting was going to be not a walk in the park, just something that happens along the way. My mom single-handedly, like literally, did what she did in an alien country with zero support of any kind, not emotional as well. I mean, it's not like a mom was one phone call away.
Or looking at Instagram reels to figure out.
Yes. So I really thought this would be way easier. I thought children would be like puppies who eventually figure out and they
eventually
become
somebody who listens.
Yeah, eventually like in, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, a rhythm and a pattern falls and they still go crazy and they get the zoomies. But like kids are just what they are. And also I think a boy is, I'm realizing and I see, are very different from girls. And every boy is different. Like my son is just out there doing his own thing all the time.
He's 7 now, right?
He's just done 6. So as he calls it, 6+.
6+.
You ask him how old are you? I'm not 6.5. I'm 6+.
What is the son's rating? IMDb 6+.
Yeah, his rating is IMDb 6+. So that's what he is, and it's an overwhelming and very, very challenging phase. And for a while I thought my husband was rocking it because he was the preferred parent. And as somebody who's conditioned and trained and also trains, he's very patient and also used to lead human factors for his previous organization. So has an understanding of human factors.
Absolutely.
But I think now we're just being matched in wits, in everything, by this little atom bomb who's just can go off anytime, anywhere. So it's challenging and exhausting and overwhelming, and one has no idea what's in store, like in the next minute. Men and women view parenting very differently. For a woman saying, I don't want to work anymore as a career person. And I'm not speaking about myself because I have the luxury to choose when I want to work 95% of the time. If I don't want to work, I won't work on a particular day. I don't have a 9-to-5 job, but I'm just giving you a perspective. For a woman to be able to say, you know what, a career woman who's worked hard to get where she's got in her career, a conventional career, not let's remove the entertainment industry from the table. Let's actually talk about a career where men and women are equal. Aviation, the only one career where there's complete parity, pay-wise, only career. Otherwise, there is a little
bit of difference.
Always in the way HR hires and pays and all of that. Now, if a woman decides that I really like this, and of course she didn't have the wherewithal to have built and sold a company. I just want to be a mother. I think a part of her. By my mother, I mean I want to be a full-time parent who just wants to sort of give back to understanding parenting better and observe my child better. I mean, it's a great thing to do. I'm not sure she would be able to do that. I don't know. I mean, I don't have an opinion on it, but I'm just trying to understand: is there a gender lens to what makes you better doing what you're doing? Because I think women are so intrinsically, emotionally entwined in parenting in a conditioning format which disallows them to look at parenting objectively. I mean, am I making sense?
Look at us.
No, again, first, no disrespect. Second, I'm just trying to understand that what I'm trying to actually do some loud thinking about is that firstly, we are conditioned a particular way as far as parenting is concerned. And as you spoke a little while ago, traditional Indian men, or for that matter, traditional men, over the last, since we've been consuming visuals of what it's like to be the perfect mom and dad. The dad is the breadwinner. He goes to office, comes back. This is not in India. This is also the case in the West. Dad goes to work, comes
India,
back.
This has been the case for centuries, right?
Well, yes and no. Again, that's a different conversation. But it's because the hunting
that is how it started.
Correct.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to come at really is that the conditioning of women in today's ecosystem, where you're expected to be a full-time professional at office as though you have no children, and your innate primordial conditioning which kicks in, which is you're supposed to be a full-time parent like you have no work commitments. I think that unique pull and pressure is only on a woman because again, this is a quote that is often floating around on Instagram. Women are expected to work like they have no children and be mothers like they have no work. And I think that's a very, very difficult place. And that is probably part of the biggest challenge for women as far as the parenting perspective is concerned. I've got all over the place, but I don't think I've defined the question at all. Like the Indian education system.
No, I'm saying that if I look at this, first I agree with you.
Female perspective.
I'm saying, look, it is the perspective you're giving me as a female, right? And
it just makes me curious. I mean, I'm not disagreeing or agreeing. I'm just putting these thoughts out there. articulating them probably for the first time in my head. I mean, vocalizing them, but it's we are just conditioned to be a particular way, and therefore we are under more pressure at all times than a man would be. So a male parent is not under the same kind of pressure to perform as a parent and by perform I don't mean like dance and song, but just make people.
Let me put it this way.
I
I think when a mother is leaving for work and a toddler comes to her, the amount of guilt she feels is much more than what a father will feel.
I agree, but that's because of conditioning again.
Absolutely.
So we are conditioned that it's mother's role, mother. No, I'm not battling
by the way,
that.
I'm saying one is conditioning, and the second is what is true is that the mother bears the child.
Of course.
Right? And by the way, if the father over the first few years does not spend enough time with the child, the emotional bond is lesser. It is proven by research. You need to spend time. Now, you have already spent 9 months with the child before the child came out.
Right.
Where's my time? I will need to spend time to build a bond with the child. That is how bonds are built, right? So now I'm just saying you are conditioned because of what we have seen in our parents. At the same time, biologically, you are supposed to be more attuned to the child's needs.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm saying it is both. And it is definitely hard for a mother. We should have no doubt about it at all. And I think we were never supposed to be like this as a society.
Really? What makes you say that?
Let me put that in context, that we were never supposed to raise kids in a nuclear family. It is something that just doesn't work. A mother and a father, 1 or 2 children living in a box without a community. Like you said, it takes a village to raise a child. And that has always been true. And I think the crux, Gul, is not about mobile or screen or video games or any of that. The crux is, as people, as adults, and then our children are less involved with life.
Because they're more involved with the screen.
They're involved with the screen. Screen is not life.
I agree.
Right? So I'm saying we're involved with screen.
But yet we're all just thrusting
But
screens
we can't blame it on the screen. I'm saying so 3 things have happened. Okay. At least I wanted to put a narrative to it. What has changed? Why has parenting become so difficult? Okay. One is,
going back to the original conversation that we started with, that, things were so much easier or appeared to be easier when our parents were raising us. Or were they really raising us, or were they on autopilot mode? I mean, I don't know. Were they doing conscious parenting?
there are 2 things. One is your
mother was clearly
some things easier.
Your mother was clearly doing conscious parenting because she was like telling you stuff at, what
are
you doing?
What are you with life, right? Yeah. So I'm saying there were some things which were nicer, which should always be there. One of them is unconditional love, right?
Which you think that's so you're saying unconditional love was and is there?
I'm saying that unconditional love comes from 2 things. One, for the child to know physically I have an adult who's always present.
But how will they know that?
I'm saying by seeing them. Obviously. What are you talking about? Yeah. So by seeing them. Now, when both parents are busy.
Okay. Pause. What if I want to be with my child, but my child doesn't want to be with me? So I walk, this is a real life scenario.
Okay.
He comes back from school and I shut down my day at the moment that I pick him up from the bus. I sit with him in his room. He's doing everything but engage with me.
So what will he do?
I don't know. I mean, I'm hanging with him.
So what does he do? What is he doing? Like, tell me the entire
scenario. He's reading a book.
He's
currently obsessed with Star Wars. And he doesn't want to be, who's the good guy? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay.
He wants to be Anakin.
Okay.
Who turns into Darth Vader.
Okay.
I mean, look at the kind of role models he has.
Yes, absolutely.
And he's just got his lightsaber and he's just play acting the whole time. And I'm just sitting there and I don't know what to do. And I keep feeling like I'm going to reach for my phone. But then I keep my phone away. So I'm physically present, but he has no appreciation for it.
So, okay, what happens in the morning?
He wakes up.
Okay.
We have tea and milk together. He's a little chatty then. And then the getting ready.
What time does he wake up?
6.
Okay.
So we have tea and milk together often.
If I can ask, does he co-sleep?
He does.
Okay.
So he totally co-sleeps.
Excellent. We totally co-sleep. How else?
So again, in an ideal world, he has a lovely room and he likes his room. Until he was napping in the afternoon till about 3ish. The afternoon nap was there, which my husband feels should not have vanished. Even now, he keeps coaxing him towards an afternoon nap.
Can't happen.
And it doesn't happen.
At the age of 4, testosterone is released in a child's body.
To make him stop sleeping.
Not to make him stop sleeping. I'm saying it is how
A child meaning a boy child or any
a boy child.
Ah,
Okay?
at
A
age
boy
what?
child. At the age of 3, 4.
So this is your research.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Testosterone is released in our body.
Okay.
Okay. Which is, and then child wants to bounce. He doesn't want to sleep
Oh
anymore.
God, he doesn't stop bouncing. He just
Child-
doesn't. He's got like.
This is the time when you want the child to sit, have the after nap, right?
No.
The child doesn't want to do
So
that.
yes, I'm starting with my laundry list now. So he and then
We have to go back to him coming back from school.
So of course, okay, fine.
Yes. So you have to go back to what happened. I want to know the day so that we can address that question.
So we wake up at 6 and so it depends. Like with the kind of jobs we have, one parent is always there. Sometimes both parents are there. If both parents are there, the act of getting him out of bed and Didi getting him ready. He has a Didi. That's the survival mechanism for working mums. And working parents, working male parents as well.
Absolutely.
Or dads otherwise.
Absolutely.
So if both the parents are there because the husband gets lesser days with him at home because he's out for work a lot, about 2 days a week on an average he's out, or 3 sometimes. So on a day that he's there, the physical act of taking him from our room to his room, where milk will happen, where he'll get ready, have a bath and everything, is done by the father. Because, and then I'll take 15 more minutes to sleep, 20 maybe. And when he's not there, then I have to do that because he resists coming out of bed. He wants to snuggle and
What time does he go to sleep?
7:30.
7:30?
Yes.
Okay, that is great.
Yeah, because we also a little militant about a few things. Sleep and its impact on growth hormone.
Does he go to bed at 7:30 or does he actually sleep?
So goal is lights out at 7:30. So which means we start reading at about goal again. These are goals. They deviate by 15, 20
Absolutely.
minutes. The goal is dinner at 6:30, which becomes 6:40, and then of course doesn't want to
Doesn't
eat.
he complain that my friends are still playing?
He doesn't, because I think his friends also, because the school that he goes to, he gets on the bus at 7:30, comes back at 4, and then we try and make sure that we don't overstimulate him, because I think after it became a long day at school, which is grade 1 and grade 2. Now he's in grade 2. I just felt he was too young to handle that longer day and also pursue a sport in the evening. And also he's the youngest child.
You know, if he wakes up and he brushes, gets ready, eats his food and goes to school and spends 9 hours in school.
9 ho gaye? Yeah.
7 to 4, 7:30 to 4:30.
Yeah, 7:30 on the bus, yeah.
But I'm saying he's away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 6. He's been doing that for some time.
3 years.
Yeah.
Approximately. 2.
Then,
COVID.
Then why are you surprised by the loss of connection?
Then what should I do? Should I go to school with him? I don't know what to do.
I'm saying, if you ask me, and this is where we're coming back to what we were talking about, that how does a child know that
You have unconditional love by being physically present.
by being physically present?
So how? Okay. So how does that translate into so my opportunity for being physically present
It's very
is from
high.
6 to 7:30, or from 4 o'clock till 7:30.
Which is also absolutely. So I'm saying, you're saying I can be physically present for 4.5 hours.
No matter how much I do,
Hmm.
or as some people would, whatever would do. I mean, I can't do more than that. And my husband is able to do that better than me.
I'm saying you have chosen a certain life for yourself.
But I'm there with him. Beyond that, what can I do? Is my point.
No, I'm just saying he's meeting you after 10 hours. Correct?
He's also meeting his father after 10 hours.
Okay.
Sometimes he doesn't meet his father for 3 days. So
Okay.
when I
Then-
say today, when I left this morning, I said I'm leaving. Yesterday I was kind of packing my bag and taking out my stuff. Where are you going? I said I'm going to Bombay for a day. And Papa? I said he's here. Okay, bye. Like he's just he always asks this question of one of us. If Dad says I'm going, and then he'll ask, and her, and she. She's here. Okay.
So your question is not why is he not connected to me. Your question is why is he more connected to his father?
Yeah. Correct.
So
Correct.
that is your question.
Despite the father being lesser around.
By the way, that could be the reason for his being connected.
No, I disagree. I think my husband is a better person as a human being.
That is possible.
But
There are multiple reasons. So I'm saying he is better with kids. He has more patience.
For sure.
He nags them less, etc., etc., etc. Possible. I'm not saying you're nagging.
I don't nag. I'm a complete nag. And I have to stop that, but I can't stop. It's like a
So what? Okay.
disease. Like he's there. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm trying my levelest best, and after watching your videos, to make sure that I don't check him. It's my father gives me one long, like we speak every day, but once every 10 days it'll be like a long call. Don't check him. Don't check him. Don't say anything.
Are you changing?
I'm trying.
Are you changing?
I don't know. I mean,
your child will grow up in the next 4 or 5 years. I'm saying then if you change, it will impact your life. It won't impact his.
what do you mean?
I'm saying in another 4, 5, 6 years, he'll be a teenager. Right?
Okay.
Then anyways, you bug, don't bug. I'm saying he will say, fuck
Check.
off. I
He'll
don't
be like
care.
checked out.
Yeah. Right. So you have these 5, 6 years. For 6 years already gone.
Yeah.
Okay. You have another 5, 6 years. You're trying. You're at least, you know.
Yeah, I totally. I've been aware for about 2 years now.
Absolutely.
But I'm
right?
struggling.
Yes. Have you tried meditation?
For myself?
Yes.
I have, but I keep falling off the wagon.
Okay, excellent. So my understanding of it is that it needs a complete break. You can't do it half an hour a day, or 15
You mean of meditation?
per minute. So look, what is happening to us, right? One, you have a certain conditioning.
Right.
Today you have a certain conditioning, and your mind has a certain conditioning. It's not you.
So that's the other part. Whenever I'm with him, I'm just sort of got 40 things in my head, like laundry, meal planning, week's menu. I mean, I just feel like that's the disproportionate burden I carry, which my husband doesn't carry. When he's with him, he's just with him, which probably is the reason I'm not like the preferred parent. Does he notice that I'm preoccupied?
Look,
Can he notice that I'm
100%.
preoccupied?
I'm saying
Even without the phone, can he tell?
If you're talking to somebody, if you're sitting next to somebody, can you tell if the person is preoccupied or not?
But not if they're a very good actor.
Huh?
Not if they're a good actor. I'm present. I'm sitting there.
So the first thing for the first 6 years is physical presence of the parent. I'm saying you're saying they're not two separate questions. My child is less connected to me. My child is more connected to his father. Right?
They're connected. I mean, both the statements are interconnected.
Absolutely, they are. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to put them separately to say that we need to be physically present for our children.
Agreed.
Right. Through that, the child gains a lot of confidence. This is because the child wants to survive. The child's brain.
He just wants to see me. He just wants to see me around.
For the first 6 years of life, any one adult, not you, any one adult, not the parent, any one adult who's constantly present, at least one adult.
Yeah.
Okay. Who he knows is around. Because this is the idea of our mind doesn't want us to be smart. It doesn't want us to say कि class में आप first 3 में आना. That is not what the mind is telling you. The mind is telling you I want to survive. Okay. Now humans are born frail.
Which is why oftentimes you'll be like, I want Didi. And I'm like, I'm your mother, dude.
Dude, we have brought up such an important point. When anyone says we are looking for a nanny or we want a nanny and this nanny is there, the question you really have to ask is, who do you want your child to be most attached to, yourself or your nanny?
Well, to be fair, when I'm not around, he asks about me a lot.
This, absolutely. I'm saying...
But so many times because when I'm in the afternoon, for example, I'll be like, listen, Nihal, let's do this. Mama, go to your room. I want Didi. So I'm like, I'm here with you. I'm being physically present with you. And you're in that moment when I'm there, you're asking, you're clearly calling out a preference for somebody else.
That doesn't make you feel good.
Not at all. I feel terrible about so many things. That's one of the things.
And we are looking at changing it.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Which is why we're having this conversation.
Absolutely. Right. So I'm just saying 2-3 things. Okay. Let's now look at reasons which could be possible reasons. I don't know today which is the reason, but we're looking at possible reasons. Right?
Okay.
One is you nag.
100%. Okay. Which I've really begun working on.
What does nagging really mean? Nagging really means
don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't touch, they will get hurt.
What does it mean for him?
Annoying person.
But why are you annoying? Because you're taking control of his life. That is the crux.
Is that a helicopter mom or a tiger mom? A painful mom?
Maybe a mix. Helicopter, I think, in this case.
Oh, he's hovering around him the whole time.
Yeah. So I don't generally I avoid labels.
Okay.
I avoid labels, even if it is ADHD, autism, whatever effect, I avoid labels overall, because labels then, look at people in a certain way, box them. Okay. Let's not look at Tiger.
So one is I'm always saying something or the other to him, which is infringing on his autonomy.
Absolutely. All of us have the desire, the deep desire to be in control of our life.
Okay.
Right? Think about yourself. I'm saying if you're going somewhere, there's a jam, you feel irritated. Why? Because I'm saying you wanted to do something, things are not going your way.
Yeah.
Right? So we have this very deep desire to be in control. None of us are in control of our lives.
Yeah.
But when we feel we are in control,
we feel happy.
We feel very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody who takes that control away, we don't like it. Okay. So now that is one possibility. The second possibility is physically and not this day, over 6 years, you haven't had enough time with them. It is possible. As much. We're just putting it out. You don't have to negate it.
It's possible. It's possible.
Right? This is the second one.
But definitely more than his father.
The third one is why male children want to play with cars and girls don't want to play so much with cars. Okay?
Is that because of conditioning and us doing the blue and pink stuff?
I'm saying the blue and pink we are doing, right?
But they are gravitating towards cars.
I'm saying son will look up to his father is natural.
Yeah, which even I've read. Like, that their oxytocin is released when they play with the father and cuddle with the mother. These are the Harpreet equivalents in like America who give their videos.
Sure, absolutely. I'm just saying children mimic. Okay, they're learning mimicking. They see.
But his father drives, his mother drives. His father flies, his mother flies. I do everything his father does.
No, I'm saying, but this is true for your family. It is not true for the world. When he goes, his bus is being driven by a male. Right? A lot of these outside things, this is the agenda of the world.
Yeah.
If your family was cocooned, he might have a different experience. But he's having this experience with the world.
So,
I'm saying we are a male child being wired to mimic his father. I'm saying is just more
societal true. and social conditioning.
Absolutely.
You're seeing it all around.
Seeing it all around. And yes, he looks more like me. बच्चे की बात सुन लेता है ना.
Right.
बच्चे की बात सुन लेता है. I'm saying if somebody had the exact same thought as you would agree more. We would chat more. We would be best friends.
Right. Because commonality is being
there.
seeked.
So it is okay. I actually think it's a great thing.
That he prefers father over me.
There's no question of preference.
It's clear preference.
I'm saying it is.
You ask him that mother is dying, father is dying, who will you save? Father. Very clearly.
This is. I'm saying it is a question of comparison.
And no child should be compared.
I'm saying you are comparing yourself to his father. You are saying I'm second, I want to be first.
Again, that's a subject
you're still in the top three. By the way, you're still in the top three.
What I want to talk about is very interesting. This, how do you... Now, again, this may be something which you say the world is changing, education system is changing, but the thing is, growing up, we came from backgrounds which were... where there was nothing. So everything that we had to work for, we had to work for, right? Of course, we had great upbringing, great parents, good value system, but we were that generation of children had to find a way to do better, to be better, to achieve success in societal terms, which today, you can say success is measured as happiness and so on and so forth. But there was a motivating factor and fuel to want to be better because you came from a background where you had a lot less than what a lot of people around you had. Now, and this is a conversation that I'm often called into, a lot of the parents in his class, and we have this conversation because at least 50% of the class are parents who are sort of professionals who've come from very, very humble backgrounds, and he goes to a privileged school. No two ways about it. How to instill in the child a hunger to do something in life? It's a jumbled question.
It is not a jumbled question.
It's a clear question.
No, it's a real question.
Everybody I know is asking that. And one of the things that came up in the recent parent-teacher meeting, which actually gave me a bit of joy. I mean, most of the meetings are always like, your son runs away, your son does this, your son does this, doesn't sit in one place. Was that he gets really upset when he does something and it doesn't go right. Or it doesn't come out to perfection.
It makes you feel happy?
It makes me feel a little happy that maybe he's interested in something and wants to... The idea, like even he's very interested in planes, so he's constantly like making paper planes and making tweaks in the wing design. And sometimes it just doesn't fly the way he thought it would fly, and he crumples up and throws it.
The first thing is, your son is 6. Yeah, 6 plus.
6 plus.
Goes to your school.
Don't put him in a desire to do anything in life. Let him be.
No.
No.
I'm saying we'll come to that.
Okay.
I don't want to say this. And the teacher says, he's not sitting at a place. I'm saying that is the silliest thing, I think, for a teacher in school to say. Be it any school in the world.
No, I mean, not to defend the school or the teachers. The initial conversation was that he doesn't transition from one task to the other. Like, he will do like coloring, and then when the rest of the group, they're not, it's a non-traditional classroom, so there's like 4 tables of 5 kids together, not like how we had one blackboard and like a full room, and backbenchers could do whatever they felt like. Is that when compared to what everybody else is doing, again, comparison. And again, school is very, very clear that please don't compare your child to other children. But we just want you to know that while we have a certain curriculum to follow in class, right? Even in class 2 now, class by class, 3 hours, CBSE kids were going, God, my God, how much we were doing by class 3. Their thing is that he tends to resist the idea of, if he's doing something, he wants to just do that.
I'm saying,
transition.
I will stop you here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying a child, when the child is born, learns to walk.
Okay.
Did you teach your child to learn to walk?
No.
No, he learned by himself.
Somewhat, yeah.
By
watching all of us.
Over years by himself.
Yeah.
Over years. It is not given, by the way. Okay? Children who are not raised in the company of humans, who are raised by wolves or monkeys, don't learn to walk. Okay? They don't learn to walk.
Like Mowgli.
Mowgli learned to walk, and that is the anomaly in the Mowgli. Because Mowgli ideally shouldn't have learned to walk.
Sorry.
Yeah? Absolutely.
Right.
So, children who are raised by wolves, and they don't learn to walk. The child learns to walk by himself or herself. Is
By
that
watching the parents.
Watching everybody around us, not the parents, everybody around us. Okay? The child learns to talk. Did you teach a child to talk?
No.
No, right? The child learned to talk himself. Your son learned to talk himself, right? You just encourage him with a smile. That's what you did. So now the child is willing to put 2 years of effort, 2 years of bloody effort to learn to walk and learn to talk. And you are saying, and all the parents are saying, how do we teach this child to put effort? How? How will he be successful in life? On top of it,
you've given the whole gentle parenting twist to this
there's no gentle parenting in this.
Kuch mat karo.
No,
hands off karo.
I am not saying that. I am saying observe your child. Here's a child working hard in school. He is drawing. He is painting. And he wants to do more of it. But no, done. The bell is there. 90 minutes done. You move to next subject. You have to move to next subject.
But you have to... Till you set up your own school, we have no choice but to operate in these schools.
No, there are other schools. But yes, I'm saying the schooling system we can't blame the schooling system. The schooling system is a reflection of what you and me want as parents.
Okay.
It has been set up to satisfy our demands. When we want something else, the school will change. Why are schools transitioning to IB or all these international schools? We want our child to go to international school. Yeah. We all want our children to be fancy. Okay. I'm just saying the school is just responding to the parent.
Okay.
When we ask for something, this is the reason I chose parenting, because there is no other choice you can make which can, I think, profoundly change everything.
So first, stop nagging immediately. But what to do when
I'm saying
under say when you see that he's going to hit his head or that he's spoiling something, or like how to stop that?
Okay. So we are born with. I'm saying we are born, let's say, with the unconscious mind. Okay. I'm saying there are certain things that come with us through genes. Then our subconscious mind is trained by seeing what happens around us. For the first 7-8 years of our life, we have no choice. In some ways, we get automatically trained. It's like a AI machine ka model being trained without consent.
Okay.
We all talk about in Western consent. I'm saying you have no consent. You are being trained. You are being conditioned till you can start to think logically and say, oh, I can make a different choice. I don't need to absorb this. Like in the worst of situations, like Nelson Mandela, etc., they made a different choice to be graceful, to fight, to whatever. That is a choice that comes later.
And for some it never comes.
I'm saying maybe it never comes, but I'm saying initially you have no choice.
Okay.
And then there is this part of the conscious mind where you make a choice, where you let the thought come in, okay, you process it, then you respond rather than react. What you are saying to me is that I am reacting
All the time.
all the time. So you know the answer already. I'm saying this, and this is also because of your conditioning, and also because there's so many inputs coming all the time.
Yeah.
How do you get
Overstimulated.
your thoughts? I'm saying that your thoughts control you, but actually you want it to be the opposite. Let's say you were walking on the road, right, Gul, and your hands were going like this.
Okay.
Okay, what will that be okay?
No.
That won't be okay, right?
I feel like a different kind of helicopter.
But what you're saying is that in parenting, your mind is going like this.
So okay, so you're saying there is no stilling the reactions till I still the mind.
Absolutely.
So basically what you're saying is the time, my 4 hours with him in a day, which is all I have, should be in a Zen space.
I'm saying, is it possible for all of us? It is not
You
possible.
have to work towards. You got to have something to work
You know, the
towards.
beautiful thing about parenting is if you are willing, I think of this as that we have a dark room inside us. Okay? Or we have a room
Like
inside.
dark, you mean like dark thoughts, or
No,
like
I'm saying
like a dark room to process
the
photographs.
room in which we actually don't enter. It's closed because it was shaped much earlier. Okay?
Okay.
When we become a parent, having a child forces us to open a window.
Okay.
Having a child forces us to look at the world differently. Because you're saying, my child does not love me. My child is not responding to this. My child is doing this. Now, what do I do? And all of this is a process of knowing oneself all over again. At this,
Which I completely agree with. I think for me, this is a self-discovery.
absolutely.
And I think all these 4, 5, 6, 7 Instagram accounts that I'm on Instagram for, including yours, is that you have to first address a lot of unresolved, I don't want to use the word issues.
I'm saying there
But
is
like, no. What I'm going to say, I'm simply saying is that you have to work on yourself.
100%.
And that is the work that most of us don't want to put in.
100%.
But I want to put in the work, which is why we're having this conversation.
So I'm saying to you that one thing I would strongly advise is to pick any meditation course. Okay, but not something to do on an app 30 minutes a day.
No, app to maine chhod diya. I just feel that the screen just sucks you into it, takes you somewhere else.
Absolutely.
I pick up the phone to make an entry in my journal and then I go somewhere else.
I'm saying the agenda of the world is all pervasive.
Yes.
I'm
So
saying,
meditation, how? Like, what do I...
So I would recommend two things. One is you could go for Vipassana, which is 8
But
10
that
days.
makes me go away.
Great. I'm saying you come back.
I don't have what it takes
You
to take away 10 days.
Okay, then you take 4 days, do inner engineering. That is the Coimbatore program.
Go to Coimbatore for it.
Absolutely. Because you need the space to do it. I'm saying, could you do it in Noida? Yes, the programs happen there. I'm sure there are other programs happen.
I've
These
done
are
inner engineering like way back in 2008.
in Coimbatore?
Here. When Sadhguru was here.
Where? In Noida?
No, in Delhi, in Bombay. He came
In Bombay?
There was I think a 2-day program, or was it a 4-day program? I can't remember.
I'm just saying.
I've done inner engineering.
And there is one.
So meditation.
And I'm saying we are using the word meditation, right? What are we saying? We are saying we want our senses to stop being agitated all the time,
Right.
right? So our brain doesn't get all this overload of
Yeah.
information.
Overstimulation.
By the way, it is excruciating. Your brain revolts after a few days.
You mean to say by going for the meditation course?
Absolutely. I'm saying the brain revolts after a few days. And after that, if you know that stillness that comes after it, I'm saying you have created space. You know that is possible.
And then you strive to go there again and again in the space you've created.
Absolutely. You know, there was somebody who worked in our house for some time. She actually was the nanny for our child. A lady by the name of Renu. And she must have had, she told stories about her childhood, and it was a very fun, loving childhood in the village. Okay. After she worked with us for 5 years, there were some problems happening in her family which affected her. She came to me and she said, भैया मुझे आपसे एक बात करनी है. मैं बोलिए. She said, भैया मेरे दिमाग में ना चीजें चलती रहती हैं आजकल. चलता रहता है, कुछ ना कुछ आता रहता है. तो मैंने कहा इसमें क्या है? बोले नहीं. बोली सबके साथ होता है. तो मैंने कहा तो सबके साथ होता है. You know, the first time I realized, and I had seen her nature change in the last 3, 4, 5 months, that there was something that was bothering her. Okay. I'm just saying to you that for that lady, before that time,
It was
she
not,
had
wow, bliss.
she was bliss. And now her child being away from her, you're taking care of somebody else's child, but your child is away, your husband not supporting, in-laws complaining, people saying, what are you doing in a different city, staying in somebody else's house, what are you doing? All of that started to affect her. And then it started going on. Like people have trouble sleeping because thoughts keep going in their head.
Yeah.
And I'm saying you're not doing this for a child, you're doing this for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
And it will change your life.
I have to be the best version of myself to be a better parent.
Yes. And
so meditation. Okay.
Yeah.
That's one takeaway.
So meditation is one way to it. I'm saying self-reflection.
What about going running? That's also meditation.
It absolutely is a way to it. I've
gone off AirPods and any kind of music.
Same here.
So I now run just the breath, and I talk, and I plan my day, and I still myself down to first be able to be in a general state of mind where I can respond and not react, not just to him.
We can create this 5 seconds. Yeah. 5 seconds of space where your automatic reaction doesn't kick in.
5 seconds is what it takes.
I'm just taking a number. I'm saying could be 1 second. But I'm saying the space where what you have learned over 30, 40 years.
Which I can do, by the way, in every scenario except as a parent. One trip we did, just Udita and I and our 2 kids to Goa. We just fed them with stories. Because by then Nihal has been completely off screen. His father will every now and then give him a screen, but too much of an argument to have every now and then. He says, okay, if he's not eating it all, kabhi to dikhao do chutti wagera pe. So we have a thumb rule. Drives longer than 1 hour and flights longer than 1 hour, you can have an iPad. Otherwise, there's no screen. You can watch one movie indefinitely. Like on a flight,
London.
He watched Bigfoot back to on repeat for 5.5 hours. Wohi film, he just goes back to the parts that he likes, keeps watching it. And finally, I was like, buddy, you got to sleep now. And his eyes were red, but then he slept. But that was an overdose, but that's not usual.
Okay. Yeah.
He normally watches a movie on Friday night of our choosing, which we can watch together. But that's it. But I still feel it's too much screen time, because the moment he passes by a screen, he's like I see him mesmerized by screens wherever he goes. Our children are able to see the screen and walk away. He can't walk away from a screen.
So my daughter is also like this. So look, this is one interesting thing, which is that every child is different, is unique. There are common set of guidelines that all of us can use to make our life simpler.
Yeah. Respond, not react is my mantra now.
And I'm saying every child is different. But I'm saying it is very, very clear that screens are attractive to children. They're attracted to us, they're attractive to children.
He gets mesmerized
Absolutely.
And other children are seeing the same screen and walking by, like at an airport. If Nihal is lost at an airport, he'll be at a screen. Staring at some those, you have this moving ad type of screens.
Yeah.
Just staring.
Because you mentioned that you were feeling the loss of connection when your child came home from school. I was feeling the same thing till about a year ago.
Oh my God, that makes me feel so good.
So I am a, what do you call, stay-at-home parent, right?
Male parent,
yeah. So then what would happen is I would pick my daughter. She'll hop off the bus, give me the bag, run up to the lift before, sometimes holding the lift, sometimes not holding the lift for me. Go up, switch on the TV and start our cartoon time.
And you just following her?
Yeah.
Okay, so then what made you change that? See, you never said that earlier.
I've said it now.
You're making me feel like this terrible parent. Horrible that was. Yeah, okay.
So this happened, okay? This was a year ago.
So when she was 5, 6 plus, 7 plus.
7 plus, okay. And she had a screen time of 30 minutes every day.
Okay.
Just that screen time she would want to do as soon as she got from school. It was the most exciting part of the day.
Right.
Okay, she wants to do it. Now, I'm thinking, I just felt something was not right. Forget loss of connection. I know wasn't there because I know in general we are connected. Okay, very connected. But it just didn't feel right that my daughter is thinking even in school that I have to go back and see screen. This is what I'm going to look forward to.
Right.
This is the wiring that is happening in her brain. This is the one thing that I wanted to change. So I said to her, we have to stop your screen time.
And then there was revolt?
No.
Oh.
Obviously. Right? I said, okay, look, this is what is happening. You come home and you run I don't feel great about this, and I don't want you to see screen as soon as you come from school. Okay, I want to change this. No. Okay, you don't want to change it. Okay, so can we change it by end of month? If not now, end of month, can we change it? Slightly there's a resistance because now it is in the future.
It's not immediate.
It's not immediate. Okay, and then I said, okay, what we are going to do is we will not see any screen at all. No. Okay. Then let's just see on the weekend. Now she's listening. Okay.
So you're negotiating.
I'm discussing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not negotiating. We're not negotiating right now.
Okay.
Right. So, and it is happening in fun and jest at a moment when I've spent some time with her. And and I don't want to use the time. Don't want to use the connection to my advantage.
Correct.
Right? That is not the idea.
Now, Simari wasn't.
I'm just very clear that this daily screen time will go, and we'll replace it with weekend screen time. Okay, 1.5 hours each. Now she's calculated that 1.5 is 3, and I'm going to get 30 minutes. This is 3.5 hours. So okay, reduced by 30 minutes only. Okay, she's done this calculation. It takes half a second for it to get through. And I said, you're now getting older. Okay, from your 8th birthday onwards, we'll change it. 8th birthday is 1.5 months from now. Okay. Now she agrees. So now I'm waiting for 1.5 months for this to kick in. Now you could actually put, my realization by the way, is that you could put your foot down and say this is changing.
Tomorrow onwards.
And no screen time. On weekend, you can do your screen time 1.5 hours each. You can watch a movie, whatever you want. Okay. So this is, I think it's possible to do, and one should do it. One should not even do this gentle parenting
Band-Aid.
kind of. Yeah, absolutely do it. Okay, no problem. In case of screen time, you should do it. Okay.
Right.
This is how I did it. And I replaced it with playing downstairs. There were a couple of other kids who were younger who would get off the bus at the same time, set of twins. And I started saying, let's go to the park.
Right.
Okay, let's swing. I will push you. Okay, I know she likes swinging, so we'll do that. And we started, and she had told me a couple of days earlier in the evening they're playing tag. So I said, let's play tag. Now we started playing outdoors.
Right.
For 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Instead of that screen time.
You have screen time. Now you are thinking, I'll go back home and play outdoors. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah,
You're engaged with life.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I had to talk to the mother of the twin because that mother is busy. Nannies pick. Nannies won't allow the child to stay because they have to feed the child after they go up. Because the mother is going to call at 2 o'clock, say, "Bachche ko khana hua ki nahi?" So I talk to that mother. Say, let's get the kids to play. I will take care of the kids. And, you shift the meal timing by 15 minutes. You start giving a tiffin.
Okay.
So we do all of that to ensure there are 2 or 3 kids.
Right.
Okay. And we started spending time outdoors. This change took barely a week to happen.
It's amazing.
But now my daughter would get off the bus, throw me the bag and run to the swing. Because now there are 3 kids and 2 swings.
Right.
And they're now saying who will get it.
Right.
Yeah?
I get it.
So that happened. Then I'm saying the twins shifted out of the building. Okay. But there are 2 months. Now this thing is set. Now she, my daughter and I.
Whether the other kids are there or not.
There are no other kids. Now now I have to figure out other ways to play. But I'm saying this is the situation we have got ourselves in by having a single child, by having a child who you want to play with, you want to stay engaged with life.
That's another conversation I wanted to have.
Yes,
single
absolutely.
child.
Yeah. It is a big conversation. Yeah.
Next one.
But I'm just saying to you, this is what I did. I genuinely wanted not my daughter to not think, I want to go home and watch screen. Deep inside me, I know that is not the wiring I want.
Right.
And this is what I did to change it.
I think as parents, it's a struggle because it doesn't turn out how you thought it would turn out. He was in bed by 7:30 yesterday. Fortunately, one of the good days, हमने become 7:45. It's also because my mother insisted on this when he was about 2.5, 3. She's like, otherwise you guys won't have any time of your own together. Which is, I think, for a lot of parents who tell me that when I have conversations and they're like, what? Your child sleeps at 7:30? Our child sleeps at 10:30. I'm like, dude, you can't be doing that to a 6-year-old kid. You can't make them sleep at 10:30, 11 and make them wake up at 6 o'clock. It's just not right. And the other argument that I present is that as a couple, we only get time to have a conversation. Otherwise, it's like mama, papa.
100%.
And I think as a couple, as husband and wife, we cease to exist till the child decides to get rid of us, which will happen by about 10ish when they'll be like, we don't want you, right? Then what will happen to your relationship? You'll suddenly learn to discover each other again. And you have got so much distance because all your conversations are transactional. In the sense that, अच्छा ये कर दो, ये ले आना, ये Blinkit कर दो, ये Amazon कर दो, ये Big Basket कर दो, or in fact sometimes not even verbally because they're happening on WhatsApp. And when the child is there, rightly so, the child is your focus, both of you. Or if sometimes that it overlaps and you want to have a conversation with your spouse, but the child is there, then that's the only 4 hours you have with him.
I think this thing that as adults we need 8 hours of sleep and children need 10 to 12, I think is godsend.
I think adults need 9 hours. I read somewhere that women need even more than men.
Done. Given. Please take.
And
that is why you take 20 minutes every morning extra.
I agree. I mean, the thing is, and this is what something, again, talking of sleep, you have to plan for 10 to 11. In fact, 12 for children. And then they'll end up with 10. And Hina Sidhu, who's also from Patiala, the shooter, she told me something very interesting that stayed with me. She said, if you plan for 8 hours of sleep, you're going to get 7. So you have to plan for 9. That's how you're going to get 8. So we wind down by 7:30 and we have to
I think the fact that you're able to do that, I think is great. Most urban families are unable to do it, partly also because the father or the mother will return home at 7:30.
Yeah. And the child is then kept awake to meet the parents.
I'm saying it's not a question of kept awake.
Stays awake. I mean, it's the household.
You have to.
It's the household.
What else do you do? I'm saying I want to meet my child and I want my child to.
Do you know there's a book that Kerry Bajaj wrote called Sleep Baby Sleep?
Yes.
And she says Indian kids and Indian diaspora kids in the West are the most underslept in the whole world. Even lesser than Chinese kids. Whereas like our Indian kids' counterparts are sleeping, 9.5 to 10. Indian kids of a certain age, of Indian origin, Indian whatever diaspora, are sleeping like 30 to 20% less than their white counterparts, Caucasian counterparts.
The thing at least I have realized is that
not everybody has the luxury to like plan their days. I mean,
absolutely. This is an important bit. Like, for example,
I made the choice.
Sorry, I made a choice.
Yeah.
I'm saying I get time with my wife Bhakti after we drop off our daughter. She can go to office by 10:30. So after between 8:30 to 10:30, we go, we sit in chayos, we have tea, we chat. So every day we get about an hour and a half there.
Okay, after you drop her to school.
Yes, so we get that time.
What time does she come back from work?
She comes back by about 7.
Okay.
Right, and we have chosen always to live next to her workspace.
Okay.
Is 3 minutes away from home.
Oh, lovely. She walks to work. Amazing.
Okay. So this is the luxury that we have afforded, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, we are privileged. There's no question of it. But I'm saying these are choices to make to get to make it work, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that I think, can we have everything? Can we have a great job? Can we have a great equation with a partner? Can we have time with our kids? Time for our hobbies? Time for our friends? I believe we can have everything. But we can't have everything at the same time in our life.
I agree.
Right? Before you had your child, you had a lot of time with your partner. Now that we have a child, yes, more time will go to the child.
Yeah,
that will become the point of connection.
Yeah.
And then as the child gets older, and what they say is that, by the age of 7, by the fall of teeth, a child knows they are physically separate from the parent.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
what do you mean physically separate?
I'm saying they know they're a different entity. Why does a small child start to cry when you go to another room? Because the child doesn't understand the concept that if somebody vanishes, they're not gone, they're still here behind that wall. It takes time to learn that concept.
And by age 7, they get that concept?
No, they get it early. By the age of 2, I think something around that sort. Yeah? But I'm just saying for them to fully know that I'm a separate physical entity is when your teeth start to fall, the body has done the part of making your initial physical being. This is when the teeth start to fall and the second set of teeth come. And it is by the age of 12, 13, the child realizes, I am also a separate mind from my parent. I don't need to listen.
So till 12, 13, they listen to us.
I'm saying, ideally. But after that, they have this full realization, I am a separate being, separate body, separate mind. Okay. By the way, research also proves that to a teenager, the voice of a stranger creates more positive thing in their brain.
But they've read that the peer pressure is 93% of influence on children.
But I'm saying this is happening. This is supposed to happen. This is supposed to happen. They're supposed to become their own being.
But already research reveals that over 90% of the influence on your child is non-parental.
What age?
6, 7.
It is possible what he's saying is true because most of us no longer get as much time with our children.
That's this reason. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I haven't seen this,
that's
but
a
I'm saying
logical deduction.
that could be possible, right?
Yeah.
If a child is spending 10 hours in school, there is agenda of the world in school.
And that's why 90% of his pressure.
Right? And I'm
pressure.
saying the school never used to start this early. There was no school before age 6.
Yeah, I remember.
We used to be at home. We used to, and single kids are also more harder because when they play with other kids, they imbibe some values from that kid. उसके घर तो ऐसा होता है, उसके घर तो ऐसा होता है. All of this starts early.
Yeah.
Earlier, it used to 2-3 बच्चे होते थे, सबको same rule लगता था.
Yeah, and so different socialization.
It has become harder because agenda of the world in all our lives have become more pervasive. And hence, parenting has become harder. There are 2 times in our life when number of neurons in our brain grow.
Okay.
One is 0 to 2 years.
Okay.
And the second is teenage.
And the answer to puberty?
The answer is puberty.
Is it because of answer to puberty?
I'm saying.
Probably, I'm assuming.
It is around that same age. Whether puberty leads to this or this leads to puberty, I'm not sure.
Okay, interesting.
Right? What leads to what is not sure. I'm not sure of. And I think, people present both sides. All of this is connected, right? Even, I'm saying puberty is a very interesting topic for me because of early onset of puberty nowadays.
I know.
What happens is that we need too much junk. Too much fat gets stored. The extra glucose gets stored as fat.
Right, that makes sense.
When it does that, it sends a signal to the brain. Okay, that this body, and this happens in the case of female children, is ready for reproduction.
Because they're fat.
Because they have,
overweight.
No, not over. I'm saying they have enough fat to reproduce. And they send a signal to your reproductive organs, hey, you are late. So why don't you start the process of puberty?
Which is why you have girls hitting puberty at 9.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Which means menopause is going to come those many years early because you have finite number of eggs.
I don't know.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know.
The total number of follicles are finite. If you start at 9 as opposed to 12, 13, you've taken away 4 years of a productive life.
What I think about all of this, I think everybody will say, okay, everybody by the age of 2021 will start freezing their eggs. Okay.
Because of the best eggs.
Because of the best eggs. I'm thinking this is how we are using science
good Lord.
to deal with all this, right? For example, kids are getting myopia. Okay.
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, so let's put this plastic thing in their eyes.
But why don't we take their screens away?
I'm saying it's harder, right? The slide, look, this.
So
I'm saying I'm going to
screens, sugar, and junk food. 3 things.
Screens, sugar, and junk food. That's sugar and junk food is same.
But it's also salt.
But I'm saying it leads
both have the same.
It leads to the same effect.
Okay, so junk food and processed food.
Processed food and screens.
And dopamine, serotonin inducing food, right?
Yeah.
And screen are the easiest thing. When a child is troubling you and you're dying and you want to pull your hair out, here, look at the phone. Or when you haven't planned and meal prepped and you're stuck somewhere, ye lo chips kha lo, ye kha lo. So this is one thing that I had a really, really big battle about.
With whom?
Myself, to begin with personally, because going back, for me, ice cream, sugar, dessert was a reward. For you do this well, you'll get an ice cream. But I got it once in 6 months.
That's a separate.
I know. God, Harpreet. So what I'm going to say is that because we didn't have access to it, because of financial constraints. It wasn't available. Why it wasn't available? Because financial constraints.
Absolutely.
Right? So I would get, I remember the first time that I actually there was a fixed day to get a dessert, was one Friday a month when Dad was posted in Delhi. We would go to Nirula's.
Oh,
I would
the
get
fish tank behind.
And the Chanakya Puri one, the revolving door. And there would be a banana boat for us to share.
Yes.
Right? So that was one outing a month. And that's the only dessert that was part of my life.
Yes. Now look at it.
I'm not saying it's a reward, but it was like...
I'm saying forget reward or not reward. I'm saying the availability of...
Access and availability, 2 things.
Was limited.
You don't have all these ice cream carts hanging around outside the way they are outside schools.
I'm saying this again, Gul. I'm saying that this agenda of the world, which wants to sell us things.
Sugar-coated things.
either through screen or through ads. But I'm saying the idea is not to vilify a particular thing. The idea is, if you can eat everything once in a while.
But in how do you define moderation in an environment like this? Most households consume ice cream, cake at will, right? Without any regulation. But today he has milk out of when we travel, we still carry milk, the conditioning. I take a Tetra pack of Amul 200 ml. I can open it because I have a hack of opening it now. And he has it straight from the pack. He that's the only way he has milk. If you add anything to it, like other kids are having chocolate milk, he just has plain milk. His oats.
By the way, I want to tell you, and this is an important bit, that you are also lucky there.
Why?
In the sense of it is possible that
it would have been easier for me to feed him suji, etc., whatever he was having, if I had sugar, because he would have liked the taste.
I'm just saying that you did not allow sugar in milk. Your child
anything,
and your child now still has milk without and likes to have milk without anything. Is the same probability as your child standing in front of a screen and looking like this, other children walking away. In the sense that you could have turned out.
You mean it's not my wonderful.
It is, but partly.
It's also his taste buds.
It also is taste buds.
Okay.
It is, but partly I'm saying. Like, for example, you're not responsible for him looking at screen like this.
I'm not, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but, absolutely.
So I'm just saying, I'm saying this is something for every parent to remember. That
every child is unique.
Every child is unique. He's come with certain set of genes. And hence everything is not parenting.
His dad's like that. He goes to supermarket, and that's why I don't take him to supermarket. To buy one thing, and he'll just be mesmerized by everything in the supermarket. And he'll bring 40 things back. I'm like, no, we don't need them. So, which is like, I'll do, which is why we take disproportionate burden. I'm like, I'll do it. Because he'll be like, oh, let me look at this. Oh, this is very nice. This one. So I'm like, no. So maybe it comes from there. But no sugar. And he doesn't know, he's never had Lay's ways because we don't have it.
I think that is an important bit.
We don't have any aerated drinks. I mean, there's like a wine cooler in which some Diet Coke and all lies. I do have Diet Cola as my indulgence once in a while.
I think you are in the 0.1% of
absolutely. No, I'm aware of
been
that.
Able to do it.
And I think the militant approach, much to my both the mothers, my grandmother's disapproval. Asita kitasi, you turn out fine. I'm like, no, I did not turn out fine. I have a sugar addiction. All that. It worked well. In fact, sometimes I'm worried that at a birthday when he cuts his own cake, he won't eat it. I don't like it because he doesn't like it. People said, oh, when he starts going to birthday parties, he's going to start eating cake. He'll have a piece of cake, but that's about it. He's not going to want to devour it.
I'm saying you're lucky. Like lucky in the sugar part, unlucky in the screen part.
In the screen part, yeah. So we no junk food and no. We don't have it. We have no colas. He's never had. Sometimes I struggle to give him juice because sometimes you go on a flight and they give you juice and he'll take a sip and leave it.
Look, I'm telling you, everything once in a while I think is okay. I think the thing
we try to expose him to it. So I've had to make him eat fries because when we travel, sometimes that's all he'll eat.
And you mentioned an interesting thing that they had a smartphone because they do all this, you stay in touch, all of it. This is when a smartphone gets in the hand of a 13, 14-year-old. Right? This is, I want to stay in touch with my friends.
Why? Can't you meet them and talk to them?
I'm saying after school, because then you're left out of the after school chats. Also, the school starts to give homework online, which is happening more and more in international schools. Which is, but then they've got to do it on a computer at home under supervision. I'm just saying, this is when the child makes the case for getting a smartphone. If I'm a 6-year-old also will make the case for getting a smartphone. Just that in the case of a 6-year-old, you're very clear you can't have a smartphone. Correct? But when the child is 12 and the child is looking really old to you, now this is a big human being in front of you, right? And the studies are going to the cases are being, I am feeling left out.
It's okay.
Well articulated. I am,
so how do you respond to that as a parent?
You say no.
Yeah, you say it's okay.
And the research in this has proven children who left phones had better relationships. It is obvious.
Which is what even Rio says, right?
Which is what he's saying.
His whole point is that the moment... And he has use cases to prove his point.
And I'm saying I don't want to vilify smartphones also. I don't want to vilify technology. I'm saying because of technology, what we're talking about will go out in the world. I think this is the first time in the human race when you have the potential to sit at a place and change the world. No other time was it possible. So technology has a usefulness to the world, right? The key thing that is happening across the world is our children are less involved with their life.
Because of screens.
Because of screens. Absolutely because of screens. And I'm saying if you take the case of sugar, if you take the case of screens, you are able to wean off sugar or wean off screens because you did not have them for the first 15, 20 years of your life. But when you are raised as an adult on a screen or on sugar, the change in your wiring at the age of 20, 25, 30...
It's very hard to achieve.
It is you are going to your older self. Okay? Younger,
The
older self.
pre-sugar. Oh,
But
right.
who will our child go to? I'm saying, will they go to, for example, children when they're angry and you show them a screen, then they calm down. A 35-year-old, when the child is 30, 35, when they get angry,
So go to a screen.
go to a screen.
I'm actually a bit outraged that social media platforms, I mean, why not take names? Instagram is actually putting out ads saying, make Instagram safe for your child. Why should my child be on Instagram?
Shouldn't be.
Till they're 18. What is 16, 13, 14? Child control, parent managed. What is the need for them to be on Facebook and Instagram?
There is absolutely no need at all. Absolutely no need at all. Just that it is all pervasive. But there is no need, and I want to ensure my child doesn't get on a social media platform till she's 16.
I'm thinking 18.
Okay. Maybe 18. I'm saying we'll see, right? I'm saying
We
far
don't
in
know.
the future.
Yeah.
So far in the future. But I'm saying social media, looking for validation, wanting to take a picture to put online.
And they put filters.
And put filters and do all of that is, I'm saying at least we don't want that wiring for our child.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that's for me a complete no-no. But again, I do have a friend who, by the way, knows of you also, is also a counselor. And we were talking about this. So she has a very tightly controlled Instagram, which is also on her mother's phone. So mother can see everybody that she follows.
So I'm saying,
but she's 16.
So
16.
The other part is, till the age of 18, our child should know that we have access to their emails and texts and everything. It is as simple as that. So you want them to engage. For example, on vacation, our daughter wanted to, somebody in their school, a 10-year-old, started GChat.
GChat क्या होता है?
Google Chat.
Oh, or like email वाली जो side में.
हाँ, है कुछ.
Yeah, it used to pop up on Gmail back in the day. I don't know how it works now.
I'm saying I hadn't heard of it till my daughter told me about it.
Okay.
She said my friend met, उसने बोला मैं GChat पे हूँ. She said, can I GChat using your account? So now she's 8, she's sitting and GChatting. Okay. Now I'm saying I have access to this, and I'm saying, okay, do for 10 minutes, you're on holiday, okay, do it. That's it. So that is what is happening. But till the age of 18, whatever access we give to the child should know we have access. And so this is also, for example, there's this Western notion, right? Oh, this is my life. You don't interfere. There's no such question.
Yeah,
I'm saying if you don't interfere in it, by the way, all parenting is essentially interference in a child's life.
Except when it's nagging.
No, nagging is full on interference. Yeah. Now the question is, how can you interfere so that the child does not feel they are not in control of their life, right? So I'm saying if you look at this circle, I see it as this. The first thing to ensure is that child feels loved, which is largely a function of the quantity of time and the quality of time.
Quantity and quality, understood, yeah.
Right. The second bigger circle then is the child to feel in control of their life. Let's say
autonomy.
This is a deep human desire to feel in control of our life. Now let's say you are giving all the quality and quantity time to your child, but you're always nagging. Right? So I'm like, मैं तो बच्चे के साथ हमेशा होती हूँ.
Yeah.
मैं तो हमेशा ही होती हूँ. मैं सब कुछ कर रही हूँ उसके लिए. But you are always nagging the child. The child doesn't feel in control. The child is not able to साफ रखना, ये करना है, वो करना है, यहाँ हाथ हिलाए.
Always doing it. You have to stop that. Yeah.
So this is second. And the third and the important part, which I think gets consumed in technology and all, which is that it's not about technology. It is not about the mobile. It is about whether your child is involved with life or not. The idea of taking my child to a park to play versus this is not that screen time is bad. It is I want my child to be involved, to feel the wind.
Yeah, touching, feeling, smelling. Yeah, all of that.
Yes.
Another friend of his had some older boy tell him that I'll kill you and all that. So all that has happened, and there's been counseling. So I was aware that things can happen in the bus. What I wasn't prepared for was that my child might be the perpetrator. So I had a call from parents saying that your son has done XYZ to an older child who's like, class 6. And I was like, whoa, okay. I mean, I don't know how that was possible. So I was waiting for the right time to have this conversation because The lesson that I took from this was because someone I know and someone I know as an adult, and of course I'm very clear about the boundaries we discussed. So someone I know and someone I know, in the 4G environment, you constantly keep coming together and going apart and coming together, and then in later years also you come together. So there was a story that a friend of mine narrated to me, which immediately made me put two together. So, oh my God, but they were there at the same time and I knew who the other person was. He said, I was in a bus and this boy used to always trouble me. And always take my seat. And one day said, I'm going to sit on my own seat. But he already sat on my seat. And then I went to sit in his lap. And because he was upset that I sat on his lap because that was my seat, he bit me from point A to point B. And we all know what that point is because we've all lived there. And then remained there till I got off. And when I went home, I had this blue bruise. Giant bruise, and my parents asked me what happened. To which my friend says, this is what happened. So then my friend's parents went to this other person's friend who I know, and I would never imagine this other person who turned out to be the biter to be that person, because I know him and he's been on the receiving end of that kind of stuff. But the reaction of the parents is what really disturbed me. The parents humiliated and shouted at this child in front of another parent and another child. Make him apologize. Say sorry right now. And this, say sorry. You can't do this. You bit him. Blah, 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 blah. And that kind of gave me a peek into why this other person, the biter, is the way he is. So I didn't want to make that mistake. So that was the baggage that I was carrying. Because traditional parents, because they're peers, right? So this friend's parents and this other person's parents were also peers. So they had obviously very civilized communication, and this other person's parents did the only right thing that they could do, called him and said, what happened? Say sorry right now. So, that forcing the child. So keeping that in the background, I spoke to Nihal and I said, something happened on the bus. And he was in a really jovial, happy, cuddly, good night. We read a book. We were about to sleep. And suddenly he said, I want to go to sleep right now. I don't want to talk to you. So I should have backed off at that point and maybe addressed it tomorrow or day after or the day after. Because the mother had called me, and very respectfully. So I said to him, this so-and-so's mother called me and she said that you done this. Immediately his face darkened like Anakin Skywalker before he's about to turn to the dark side. Who was a good guy. So Anakin is a good guy who turns to the dark side, right? In the Star Wars story. So his face darkens. He says, tomorrow I'll do something worse. I'm like, why would you do that? At that point, I realized I completely failed in my intervention. I got that timing wrong, but he immediately teared up. And that was the end of that conversation. I think that intervention of when another parent calls you up for your child's behavior can be a two-edged sword. One is that you immediately become defensive and say, my kid can do no wrong. I know some parents who take that position.
Absolutely.
Or then you are like us, ki mera hi bacha kharab hai. But which is how our parents were. If anybody would call my parents up and say, ki bhai, your child has done this, the assumption of guilt was always on us. Ki you guys must have done something. There are going to be times, maybe lesser so with girls. But with boys, there's always some fight, some kick, something. How does one correctly respond, A, to the child, and B, to the other parent who calls up?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't think of this as a correct or an incorrect way, right?
One has to respond.
I'm saying one has to respond. I'm saying we don't need to judge the choice, correct or incorrect. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying there is no one correct choice that you can do and everything will be fine. There's no one incorrect choice which can... There are a lot of incorrect choices, a lot of correct choices. I'm just saying this, right? And it depends on the child. I think the first thing is to be able to look at our child as a work in progress. You and me are work in progress.
Yeah.
A 6-year-old doing something, okay. It is okay. So the child has done something, okay, let's understand. And I've realized that child's lives are very deep. They have layers and layers and layers. A child, for example, the child bit this other child, वो bite हमको दिख जाती है, बट पहले वाले ने क्या किया था वो नहीं दिखता बहुत बार, और उससे पहले 2 दिन पहले क्या हुआ था वो भी नहीं पता लगता. So I'm just saying that the lives are very
the
deep.
background to it all.
There's a lot of context to it. sometimes the context is the situation and we don't understand fully the situation and we jump to a conclusion and we ask to apologize or do other things. We, react instead of responding. The second is, what a child, if the child has hit somebody, if the child has bit somebody, if the child has shouted at somebody, if the child has said a word.
Spat, which is very common.
Essentially, all of this, either they are mimicking something they're seeing.
Yes, which brings me back to screen.
Could be screen, could be home, could be anything else.
There's no beating in my house.
No,
that's one thing that's not there. But just giving it.
Not in case of beating. Not in case of beating. I'm not talking about your house.
No, I'm just saying. I've all of my questions specifically coming from my side because
And absolutely. So I'm saying either mimicking, which is, for example, if the mother talks to a child in a certain way, especially a girl child, and the girl starts talking in the same way when she's 5, 6, is when it dawns on the mother. Oh, she's talking like me. In the strict tone.
He's totally talking like me. He talks to dogs like me. Don't do this because he watches me talk to the dogs like this.
Well,
what I was referring to was he oftentimes enacts Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And I'm seriously now trying to cut out Star Wars from his life.
I'm saying, I think you will be doing a good thing by reducing its impact, 100%. Wait,
that boat has sailed. All 9 movies have been watched. All stories are...
there are 2 different bits to it. One, let's talk about the bullying first, right? Stay on that.
Let's come back to bullying.
And then come to Star Wars, okay? I'm just saying, either the child is mimicking. Most importantly, what happens is the child is trying to communicate.
With who? With the person he's biting and spitting and
100%,
hitting?
100%. I'm just saying, when do you feel like hitting somebody? When you're angry? When you're upset? Right?
Yeah.
And you don't have words to say and you feel the surge of...
Which is what the school keeps saying. Verbalize, vocalize, verbalize.
So, which is a skill to learn.
Which they will acquire over time.
A child, when is born...
We can't verbalize and vocalize.
Absolutely.
And we feel like we will shut ourselves down.
I'm saying a 6-year-old being held responsible for saying, "Arey, tumne ye kaise kaat diya?" I'm saying, boss, 6 saal ka hai yaar wo. I think we're expecting too much from our children.
Yeah, absolutely.
He bit somebody, great, no problem. I'm saying we have to tell him you can't bite. Okay, you can say.
There can be no consequences.
No using hands, no using legs and feet.
Yeah.
I'm saying, obviously, we have to tell them this. But if they are bit, that means they felt out of control. As adults, we feel out of control. So a child feeling out of control, where the entire brain is not developed, is very, 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 very normal. Okay. The question is, what was the context? Pura situation kya tha? And if there is a background to it, and the background always, at least I have realized, is either mimicking, okay, spitting, okay. Biting comes from either the context and this lack of brain development which is there, or it comes from lack of love or lack of feeling in control of life.
Lack of autonomy again. Lack of autonomy.
And I'm saying this is directly correlated to how our brain develops. Okay, when a child isn't feeling loved, which just means that child doesn't know whether I will survive or not, because let's say, my mother sometimes there, sometimes not there. I don't know what is happening. So when the child is feeling safe and loved, and then the child feeling control of life, is when we can develop emotionally and develop cognitively well. It's like, aapko agar fati hui aur bolo exam theek se likho, if you can't do it. Yeah. So a child, so that's about it. That is almost the answer to what you have said. If you're a lot of times, your child is a bully, okay, and then you need to have a conversation.
The thing is, oftentimes, the parent of the child who is a bully is not affected.
Is affected, not affected?
Not affected, because your child isn't bringing the trauma home. So,
but hopefully somebody will call you.
Luckily, not unlucky. I'm not...
Nowadays parents are sensitive, they call.
So, my experience with, again, the bullying is a very, very strong word. And coming from a boarding school, it has a very different context. Coming back to, I think being bossy. Because it starts off with children at a younger age being bossy. And because physiological milestones are literally 3, 4, 5 months in the first, from, you would know this better, but at age...
But I'm just saying, what is this idea of being bossy?
So I'm coming to that. No, I'm not talking. So I'm talking as the parent of a child who's been on the receiving end of being bossed by another child, and the child then then imbibing, oh, what will he say? What will he say? What will he do? He said that you're out. He said that you're not welcome here. He said that I won't be your friend. And we're just constantly having to sort of find ways, and it's not just me, another friend's child, also different circumstance, comes back constantly and says that, today he said this. 90% of the friend's child coming home conversation is about another child who is a slightly older child. And I think the constantly being told, okay, if you don't do this, you're out, has had a very deep
impact
on my friend's child. And the challenge is that conversation with the other child's parent,
I'm saying it is possible the other child has this nature.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm saying I also want us to realize that I'm not talking of nature as a fixed thing. I'm saying this.
It's at that point.
At that point,
of course,
coming from either genes or lack of love or lack of desire to control, whatever it might be, we shouldn't see that child as a villain.
No, of course. Right? I understand that.
But it is coming and our child is affected. Right?
Yeah.
So what this child, if I was the parent of that child, I will ensure that child has a family who he knows supports him unconditionally.
What does support mean?
The support means to be able to tell the child, in a lot of cases what is happening is that when parents are busy, the child has nobody to spend time with or enough time with. Okay?
Right.
So this means that the child knows I have a safe home to go to.
How can you undo what has happened for school in school for 10 hours? And even if you do discuss it with teachers like, oh, but when we were there, we never noticed it. We didn't see it happen.
School is, I'm sure for a school to manage 20 kids, 30 kids.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. All of us know that, right? I'm just saying three things actually. I'm saying first, for all of us to realize that as parents, we are our child's first bully.
Thanks. Eventually
it
comes
is true,
back.
Right? We are our child's first bully. What does it mean? It means if you want your child to develop the ability to say no outside family, first the near and dear ones have to be okay with the no.
My child has full ability to say no. He's only saying no to me.
Very excellent. Right?
So, no for this. Anything, Nihal? No. So he's totally all the time saying no to us.
Well, first ability. Well developed. Okay.
Thanks.
The second is you need time with the child. For the child to know there's a place I can go to if I say no to somebody. Place I am attached to. This is not my main attachment.
And the same thing must be reinforced every day apparently, because saying it once doesn't work.
Absolutely not. So what you're trying to do is I'm saying this is the first is ability to say no within the family, right? And still be unconditionally loved, which is the second bit, which needs time. The third is you have to cut this agenda of the world by discussing it. And the final thing is you have to find an alternate.
To what?
To this child. I'm saying, for example, this is, let's say, a classroom. There's this one queen bee. I'm sure multiple kids are affected. I'm sure there are 2, 3, 4 groups. So now you have to get your child to bond with another child.
Interesting.
So you have to do.
So it worked because my friend happened to change school because they moved city. So that
which is obviously you have cut out the whole thing, right? But I'm saying otherwise you have to get your child to play with another child.
Interesting.
So that they form a bond and this bond weakens.
Right. And the saying no and questioning authority is a very interesting thing that you said, because so on this bonding trip in the UK, very interesting thing happened. So my brother is also very vested in, because they don't have a child yet. And after spending time with Nihal, he's like, we don't want a child for some more time, because he's like, what a big deal.
There are only 2 developed countries in this world, right, which are above fertility rate of 2.3.
Who are they?
One is Saudi Arabia and one is one more. Okay, I'm forgetting the name. I'm just saying all other developed countries are negative.
They're not even at the replacement rate.
And they're not even at the replacement rate.
I read about that.
So
but people like you and I are responsible for it by having one child.
Yes, and I'm saying I believe this is one of the biggest threats we have to, human species surviving. Because I'm saying there are multiple reasons to it. I believe the main reason is there is this world is at our disposal. Why have a child?
have a dog instead. I mean, I hear this thing about dog parenting.
Absolutely.
And,
I'm saying have a dog, have a cat, have nobody. Dink, all of these
especially
acronyms.
after these kind of conversations, they'll be like, हमें नहीं चाहिए बच्चा.
हमें क्यों चाहिए? I'm saying because parenting has become more difficult for the choices we have made, nuclear families, single kids, working, devices, all of it has made it tough. And devices have also led to the world that went this world. I'll go to Maldives, I'll go to Leh, I'll go to all
that
these
money
places.
that I'm going to save.
Yeah.
I'll do something else. So now this is the backdrop. Last weekend I had to go to Ladakh for work, so he spent the weekend with my brother and his sister and my sister-in-law. Everything model. It is work, it is this, and I was like, wow. I mean, here we are having battles for every single thing. He is doing everything himself. Out of full autonomy, they give him autonomy, plus they don't say anything to him, and he does everything, which is one takeaway. The second takeaway is that when on this extended summer bonding trip that I was on, by the time my brother joined us, I was pretty exhausted. So I was thinking that he'll come and there'll be some mamas here, so there'll be some help. And here's the interesting thing that happened. When my brother is alone with my son is very compliant. But there's no resistance. Because they're like buddies. But when suddenly we were living together, the same challenges as mother. Drink milk, he doesn't say no, but he just keeps doing his thing, walking around. Suddenly it's half an hour and the milk hasn't been touched. And the thing is, we have to leave.
Leave.
I can't leave without giving him milk and giving him a bath and getting him ready.
Now we know everything. There is to know.
So you see, but his whole thing was the same resistance that he was having towards me.
No, everybody wants to feel in control of their lives.
And why, I want to understand why his scenario changed when we were on holiday with my brother, who otherwise is very compliant with. Because my brother is very chilled out with him. He does, whatever my brother says, my son will do. And suddenly, the same person he's not listening to. Not being defiant, but just like from one year, take on the other year.
I don't know the entire context.
I just think he feels this is my home setting now, and I can do whatever I feel like. Which means I am giving him adequate autonomy. For him to be able to keep me, 2.5 hours running around trying to chase him.
So I'm just saying that all children, finally, all of us, autonomy doesn't mean I'll break a red light. Autonomy doesn't mean I can go murder somebody. That is not the idea of autonomy. The idea of autonomy is I feel in control of life as well as I understand my place in the world.
Okay.
Right? I'm saying discipline comes from freedom. That is the base root of discipline. That I am free to choose and I choose discipline. That is all what your parents were saying. How do we make I'm saying this learning.
Exactly. Yeah.
Learning to walk comes from freedom. This being able to try and fail came from that. Right? Speaking came from freedom. And all of that being curved. You have to go to school for 10 hours a day. You have to be in class. You have to do only for 90 minutes. Then you have to come here. Then you come back. Then you have to eat. Then you have to play for only 2 hours. And then you have to come back. You have to sleep and time. And
it's like a.
And I know the 6, and this is a very interesting time, the 6 to 12-year-old, 6, 7, 8, when the milk teeth are falling, the new teeth haven't yet grown, right? They will take time to come.
Okay.
They will take time to come, okay, all of them. It will take 6, 7 years to come. But we suddenly start feeling our child is old.
Could teeth have fallen out?
Huh?
Because teeth have fallen out.
They look physically bigger.
Yeah.
We feel our child is old now. He's old enough. We start to treat him like an adult.
But they're not.
They're not. It is like the milk teeth have fallen, but the new teeth will still take a lot of time to come. So being able to still look at the child as a child, not get into this part tussle is at the root of so much of parenting. And this part tussle,
but exactly. It's a power tussle. Absolutely.
And it is at the root of from potty training.
Yeah.
The potty training, most kids won't learn because it's part of it. I can control my poop. I will poop here only. You do what you can do.
Yeah. So I think everything's a power trip. The moment you make them do something, they realize they have power over you.
I won't say everything. I will just say that.
Food, potty training, potty, bath. Whichever they feel that you need to make them do.
Nobody wants. Do you want to feel like this? You have to take a bath in the morning. I'm saying you no longer want to feel like this. Obviously. And I'm saying, and when it was a part, when it was that, you have to be in top 3. we don't know what conditioning it has led to.
A lot of mental trauma for sure, which I'm still unboxing.
Right? I'm saying that because it's a set of comparison, it's a set of saying if you are in top 3, don't worry.
Yes, true.
If at the age of 14, 15, all children start to get trapped in boyfriend, girlfriend and all of it, it is because they're at our age of Mills Boone and now some Percy Jackson or ABCD XYZ.
Where's Percy Jackson?
You don't know what Percy
No
Jackson?
idea.
Wait. Yeah, it'll come. There's another story, by the way. My daughter brought Percy Jackson home. Okay, this is a book labeled for 9+ year old.
Okay.
On Amazon. I believe this should be a teenage book. The first page, it's a hero who saves the world. I don't know what the context is, but I tell her, if I want to read something, I'm going to read it. Okay, so I open the first page and it's about a bus of teenagers from school where this guy is sitting next to a girl holding hands and the girl is thinking something, etc., etc., etc. And then you can't read this. She's like, I want to read it. I said, open. This says 9. I'm saying 12. When you are a teenager, you pick this book and read it. That is okay. You can't read it right now. End of story. The content out there on screens and in books is shit. 99% is shit.
Wow.
We can't let... And this book is in... I went to the parents of the 10-year-old who was reading it. And I said, why are you letting your daughter read this?
And what was the response?
They said, this is... The child goes to an international school. They said...
And this is what they're reading.
This is in the library. Because this is 9+, they can pick it out of a library and read. And they said, we tried to say no. And she said, there are 20 kids in my class. 15 of them have read it. They're discussing it. I want to read it. So we said, okay. So there is obvious pressure. And I'm not vilifying the parent. But I'm saying, this is another time.
How do you even begin to navigate that whole...
And don't go into the thing of all our children getting westernized.
No. I mean...
Right? That is another matter altogether of losing our roots of where we're coming from. Because
that's another chapter, yeah.
That's another chapter because we don't have great Indian authors writing books in the same quality and quantity as Western authors. And we want to send our children to international schools because supposedly international better. Like Sadhguru says, right? I'm saying I've taught yoga in India for 20 years. Nobody wanted to learn. So I said, oh, why do we drink Coke? Why do we wear jeans in this hot summer? Oh, because the West is wearing it. Let me go to West and teach yoga. And 5 years of teaching there, every Indian wanted to learn yoga from me. All of this we have to get out of ourselves and then our children will get it, but we have to start to say no. I'm saying no. Parenting is interference. Saying no is an important part of parenting. But limited set of rules, clearly worked out, and enough time with kids so that all of us feel in control of our lives. Yeah.
I mean, speaking of which, again, now when you walk into any place, because they can, children demand stuff from a toy store. At what point do you start saying no? I mean,
I said to our daughter, okay, you want to buy things, great. I understand that. You know, how much pocket money do you want? We agreed on 400 rupees. She now has 400 rupees. Except buying sugar, she can buy anything else she wants.
How did you arrive at the 400 rupee figure?
Nothing. I said for 300, she said 400. I said, okay.
Yeah, but then she's 8+. How do I tell my 6+ person? I don't think he has the concept of numbers yet. I think he does.
He does. I'm sure he does.
We have fake money. I mean, not fake money. We have this...
I'm saying give him real money.
No, we have this money where at one point, just to teach him about money and understand, we have this money which he earns for doing some tasks.
The only reason children at that age are willing to learn maths is because they can see money. They can see maths is useful. I'm telling you, you will start getting into struggles as you get into 7, 8, 9 because they will get into fractions, ABCD. The concepts taught in school will start to become fictional.
So interestingly speaking, his school follows Jodo Gyan, which I have no idea is what, because as someone who did maths in college, I am completely cut off from it. I have no idea how they're teaching them. And they keep telling us, please don't teach your kids maths.
100%.
And I'm like, he's going to go and flunk in class 10 when he finally is being judged on CBSE standards because you are teaching him this, imagine this, estimate this. What is the approximation of this?
I can tell you what CBC or what all these schools are doing are going to be irrelevant for our children.
But right now, I mean, he's... So,
yeah.
the Jodo, I mean, are you familiar with Jodo Gyan?
I have the book.
I have
haven't
no
read
idea
it.
what it is.
I think
but it's not how we were taught maths.
My understanding is it's a beautiful way to learn maths, is what I know it.
That's what they keep saying.
And what they say is,
develop your own relationship with numbers.
Forget all of that. I actually want to do a course on, I think every parent should know how to teach maths till the age of 6 or 7 or 8, like to a child, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Every parent should know, and most of them are fearful of maths, right? Everybody should know this way, the way Jodo Gyan says, all of this. Every parent should know and actually, if you ask me, I imagine a world where when you form a pregnancy group where a child is, when you are all expecting doing yoga together, there are 10, 20 parents, one of them takes over and says, I'm going to raise all these children till the age of 8. That'll be so beautiful. And you provide all the support required. And that parent charges money, charges 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs a year, whatever it takes, makes it this. And you know that these children are being raised together by somebody whose child is also within this. And this parent is learning. And I think it is possible to do. We don't need preschools where we leave our children for a long time, where we have no control, etc., and we can build this community, the village that all of us have lost by.
A kibbutz.
The tribe,
The tribe, yeah.
Yes, which all of us have lost by staying in. You stay in Noida, your parents stay in Chandigarh, somebody else stays there, our cousins stay in London, they will never meet, bhul jao first cousins ko to. That tribe we have lost, maybe we can build here. If we could provide support to everybody, for this math, science, English, and some of these other things.
I think it's likely to happen when these children have their children. I don't see it happening in their schooling.
The problem? I think this is the last generation with which we have a chance. This current parents who are growing up, we are, I think, the last set of parents, this minus 10, who have grown up with parents who were present and who gave love. The current set of children who are growing up with devices. To you, I can talk about that you have received love. Parents have been there. My parents were there. With the current set of children, and then you can understand what is missing. With the current set of children, we won't even be able to talk to them in this manner because they've never received it. They say empathy can't be taught. It can only be received.
That's the nurture part of things.
It's nurture
and nature.
So, we can only do this, I think, in the next 10, 15 years. If we don't do this now, it won't happen, and we will lose all of this to a generation which will grow up not wanting to have kids, having less emotional.
And then robots will control us. And that
God knows.
That Will Smith movie where robots turned bad and began controlling all of us and humanity was dying. And zombies came back because humans became so dumb.
You and me won't be here, so that's okay. But I think this chance at empathy is what we have in the next 10, 15 years. iPhone came in 2006, I think. Yeah? 6, 7. Okay. So now 16, 17-year-olds, 19-year-olds who grew up on iPhone are becoming adults.
And their life is inside this.
It is. I'm just saying this is the first set. We have another 10 years to go of people who have received enough love in their life to understand what we're talking about. Otherwise, this will be completely lost.
So by the time this lot has kids, they won't even know what it was like to have non-screen parents. Because their parent is a screen.
Yes.
Which is also what, all these science fiction movies talk about, that a child is born and it just looks at his mother's screen and mother's interacting through the screen and there's a AI bot. It's a very dystopian
view.
Interesting. Well, it's been a fabulous conversation.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we could have gone on for some more time.
Yes, but I'm saying fabulous chatting with you. Lovely having you.
Thank you for having me, and here's to more conversations. And so I'm going to take away being present, not being a nag, responding, not reacting, and trying to give full autonomy to my child.
Not full autonomy.
As much autonomy as possible in his day-to-day activities.
Autonomy while preventing him from the agenda of the world.
And self-harm.
Absolutely.
Keeping them alive is very important.
Yes, that is the goal.
That is the goal. This has been fun and exhausting. How long have we been at it? 5 hours.
Almost 9.
9 baje?
I expected it would be about 8-ish.